Ladies and gentlemen, we are back here and we are going to be talking a game review with Frank Allocco, who's going to be on the show here. It is 61-60, a final score of Virginia getting upset by the USF Dons. We're bringing on Frank Allocco, who is the USF Dons, who works for the Dons here. He is a great guy. He was on, I interviewed him, and he's the Executive Senior Associate Athletic Director for External Relations at USF. Here we go. We're going to call him up right now here. I'm not giving out his phone number, so that's why I'm keeping the phone here. It's all for his privacy. Oh, shoot. I should probably take it off speaker. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. We are trying to get him on the show here. We're going to call him up. He's on the phone. Hey, Frank? Hi, it's Hugo. 1 second. Let me get you on speaker here. I'm calling about the Virginia USF game.
Great.
So, I mean, how did you feel when you saw that USF had beaten Virginia 61-60?
It was a great feeling. We really believe that this team can be special. Obviously, we got off to a bad start in our first game, but I think, there are reasons for that. We were, with COVID, it's really affected the way we are preparing. We didn't have scrimmages. We didn't have any practice games. But after that game, we were a little down, to tell you the truth, because our expectations for this time are pretty high. I personally think it's one of the most athletic teams in the country. And today, to compete the way we did against the defending national champions for that win really does prove that we have the ability to play with anybody in the country. So it really confirms what we've all been believing, but you never can duplicate the feeling of beating an outstanding opponent like that.
Yes, and I mean, Virginia is technically the defending national champions. But I mean, you guys have, I believe, a 20-game schedule this year. You've got a lot coming up. You have Gonzaga coming up, and I mean, you showed today that you guys could beat a number 4 team in the nation, probably one of the top teams in the nation, 61-60. But what do you think about the Gonzaga game coming up?
Well, that's a long ways away, thankfully. We get some time to prepare. They get some time to prepare. I mean, I watched them play the other night, and that is a special team. I mean, they really are very deserving of their number 1 ranking, their current number 1. Excuse me. They're very deserving of that number 1 national ranking. They have size, they have strength, they have guys that can shoot, handle the ball, defend. So it'll be a test. But, we gave them a run last year. I think if you look at last year's season, we played them tougher than anybody in the country. Every time we played them. So I think we're pretty fired up for that opportunity, and we have some time for us to improve. On the other end, they have some time to improve too. So it should be an interesting matchup.
Yes, we had Boyea, who had 19 points, 6 assists for USF. And you have Kunin on the other side with the 7 defensive rebounds for USF. How do you think that the team, how do you feel about the teams playing today? Do you feel that they played great, or do you feel that they could play better?
I think there's always room to improve, but we shot the heck out of the ball. So when you shoot like that, it really does help. We made a run of threes there that we made in a row with our big guys shooting. We're such a versatile team. We have guards that can get to the rim. We have guards that can shoot the 3. We have big men that can step out and shoot the 3. And they're extremely well coached. So I just thought that, the big difference was the way we shot the ball, and we were able to spread them out because Virginia is such a great team. When you talk about defense, they're the best team in the country defensively. They run the pack line defense. We were able to stretch the seams and allow wide open shots that our guys knocked down. And I also thought the poise down the stretch was pretty amazing. He had a 7-point lead with a little bit over a minute to go. And for them to come back A lot of teams would have folded there, but this team showed remarkable composure, hung in there, and righted the ship, and were able to secure the win.
Yes, and USF was able to regulate Virginia from three. They only made about 3 shots from three, but San Francisco, they made a lot of shots from the 3-point line. They made some shots inside. For Virginia, it was a lot. It was a lot inside shots, but USF had a lot of missed inside shots. Do you think that is due to the fatigue of playing 3 games in a row?
Yeah, I think that's very insightful. Definitely the fatigue factor does fit in. But, Virginia also has some pretty good size inside. And again, I think that's an area that will definitely get better. And we have a great big man coach who does a wonderful job with our guys. And I think that will definitely help. Because you definitely want that balance of, making inside shots, getting to the rim, and then sticking threes. And that's really the formula that you need to win games, right? And so you really want to have all three of those things. You can't be one-dimensional where you rely just on threes. And I thought that's where we were solid today, is that we did make a lot of threes, but we also were able to beat them off the dribble. And I was encouraged because Virginia has national caliber athleticism, and we were right with them. So that was very encouraging.
Yes, we shot 46.4% from three. We regulated UVA to 25% from three. We actually played some really incredible defense, but a little bit of a problem from the rebounding standpoint. USF had 32 rebounds. We allowed UVA to get 36 rebounds. I mean, USF obviously lost. I can't remember his name. The center, 7-0. What is his name?
Jimbo Lowell.
Yeah, Jimbo Lowell. Do you think that the absence of a big guy like Lowell is really gonna, hold the players back? Obviously, because he was a 7-0 center that was just a massive guy.
Yeah, no, I love Jimbo. I recruited Jimbo, so I have a lot of confidence in Jimbo. But he was a different kind of a player. He was a power player. He was a kind of a guy that was strong in the paint. He could lean on people defensively, and also his development in his 4 years there was remarkable. But we're playing different. Our big guys are a little more athletic now and able to step out and challenge you off the dribble a little bit more. Not to take away from Jimbo, it's just a different style of play. But I do think having that versatility and guys who can step out and make that 3-pointer, maybe beat you off the dribble, certainly fits in well with the quickness that we have at the guard spots.
Yes, and I mean, how did you feel when I didn't feel too great after the first game, but how did you feel when they faced UMass Lowell?
I was disappointed. I think we all were. We all expected more. But I do think that you have that first game, unique situation. I mean, let's be honest, Hugo. We were planning to go to Nebraska to play, and the day before the game, the tournament changes, and we end up going to Connecticut. So you really didn't prepare for your first game. You didn't know who you were going to play. So all the practices were geared to a different opponent, LSU, that you were going to play in Nebraska, and now you're preparing for a different team. So I think that, not to make excuses, but I'm sure that did have a factor in the play. But I think, I've been telling people all along that this is one of the most athletic teams I've seen, going back to the Hardy Cartwright days. This is an athletic team. And so I felt a little badly about it because I've been telling everybody how special I think the team could be, and then you start with a game like that. Obviously, we were all disappointed, but like I said, it bounced back, shows the toughness of the kids, it shows the strength and the ability of the coaching staff to keep the kids focused, to bounce back and play probably the best game and most significant win in this program in a long, long time.
You have some other hard games coming up. You have Rhode Island coming up on Sunday, and then you head into December with back-to-back games in Nevada, and then at home. And then you have you get a little bit of a break against Long Beach State and Cal, but then you have to go back on the road. Well, you're on the road. Technically, you're on the road against Cal, but I don't consider it a road game considering you're right in the still in the Bay Area. But you guys then have to go on the road down to Southern California to face USC, a team that almost got stunned by California Baptist. Just how do you feel about the upcoming games?
I think you take it one at a time. Rhode Island's going to be a challenge, and I think it's great for on national television again. So I think the whole country's getting to see, what USF's got going, what Todd Golden has going. I think kids are going to be interested in coming to play here because it's a great style of play, and you can see we can play with anybody. You throw in one of the greatest cities in the world. So I think it really does bode well for us to be on these nationally televised games. But the schedule is daunting. There's no cupcakes in college basketball. You think anyone there is capable of an upset. Anyone's capable of winning games. And so, we don't take anybody lightly. We will go one game at a time. But the nice thing about COVID, it's allowed us to play some. There's nothing nice about COVID. Let me clarify that. But the opportunities that this COVID situation has presented is that we are getting to play people that we probably wouldn't have played in a normal season. So to play the Virginias and the Rhode Islands and all these teams that we're able to play is really a quite great experience for our kids, and we are up to that task. So one game at a time, not ever looking ahead. But as you said, it is a tough schedule, but I think it'll have us prepared for playing Gonzaga and BYU and St. Mary's and the other great teams in our much improved conference.
Yes, and we also have another upset coming down here. 7 seconds left between Ohio and Illinois. Ohio leading 75-74. But back to these big games that we're talking about. Do you think that these big games are going to build up some very big hopes for the coming years and for this year if we do have an NCAA tournament?
Yeah, well, I think we're going to have an NCAA tournament. I think we'll do whatever we can to make that happen. If the situation improves a bit, and I also think the NCAA is committed to having that tournament and doing whatever they can to create a bubble situation, bubble environment to make it happen. So I think, yes, this win certainly puts us in a great position for postseason play. I mean, last year I think we would have made the NIT, but with the cancellation of everything, we didn't have that opportunity, and that would have been a great step for us as we get to regular participation in the NCAA. If we continue to win and do great things, that certainly is a signature win. I think would punch our ticket to the NCAA tournament if we take care of business and do well in the remaining games. But I think looking forward, though, long term, this is really a significant win. Because, like I said, national television exposure, you can't beat what we just saw. We have some things on the horizon. We are building a practice facility, the Malloy Pavilion, which we hope to break ground on this year, which would really put us at that elite level with facilities. We have a fundraising campaign going on right now, Dons Together. I think with the win today, that also builds some momentum. People see that their contributions and their support is helping. And hopefully all these things will keep us going. And there was something on that broadcast that was interesting. It said no one in the WCC can match the funds that Gonzaga can put into athletics. And right now that's true, but it doesn't have to remain true. Hopefully people will get on board and we can provide the support to our students and to our coaching staff in all of our sports at USF to have wins and signature events like we saw today.
Yes, I'm probably holding you up from something, from lunch most likely. Do you have time for one more question?
Sure, yep.
Okay, so we saw St. Mary's start off kind of like USF. St. Mary's started off with a harsh game against Memphis. They lost 73-56. They almost lost to University of Northern Iowa. But I mean, how do you feel about those like really close games for St. Mary's? Do you think that it is gonna benefit the fact that USF now can actually have a chance at beating them by a lot, or do you think that St. Mary's is gonna rev up through the season and gain some more talent and get back to where they once were?
Well, we beat them last year, so we did have a win over St. Mary's last year. We played them very well the last couple of years. We've had a couple of wins during those stretches, so we're inching closer and closer. Of course, Coach Bennett does a great job. I have two of my former players who are assistant coaches there. They have a wonderful coaching staff. They do an outstanding job, and they're rebuilding a little bit this year. They lost a couple of really significant players from last year's team. But Coach does a great job, and I'm sure he'll have them ready to compete in league play. And just look at BYU as well. BYU is a great program, and They have a new coach that's done some wonderful things, and so I think the league is just up and down. The league is getting better, which is really good for everyone.
Yes, and I mean the WCC is doing incredible. They're getting back to basically showing up. They're getting back to being one of these teams or one of these conferences like I mean you could say the AAC in college football. They're both they're both like not the Power 5 conferences, but they're conferences that send like outstanding teams. You got Gonzaga, you got St. Mary's, you got USF, BYU. You've got incredible teams in here, and I mean, just I'm gonna be. I think I'm so thankful to have USF. Just about I'd say 60 miles away, and being able to go there and watch some games, and being able to just see USF. Have a team that's a top team so close to me. But thank you, Frank. And I hope you are staying safe. I hope you had a nice Thanksgiving, and have a great day.
Well, thanks, Hugo. It's always a pleasure to speak to you. I always appreciate the research, the homework you do, and how prepared you are for these interviews. Thanks very much for all you do.
Thank you, Mr. Allocco.
Take care. Have a great Thanksgiving.
You too. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks.
Have a great day. Bye. So, ladies and gentlemen, that was Frank Allocco on the USF win against Virginia. We like to have him on with every USF every time USF has a chance at every time USF does something great. We may have him on heading into a Gonzaga game. We may have him on heading into the NCAA tournament, because USF could be on the NCAA tournament. Right now, it looks like the USF's only competitors, it's going to be hard to play, are going to be St. Mary's and BYU. But you've got, the other teams, like Pacific's looking good. You've got a lot of great teams like Santa Clara, and just teams that, can be a Cinderella factor in the WCC West Coast Conference. But I encourage you guys to go subscribe to Frank's channel. Excel in Basketball, I'm pretty sure, is one of the camps that he set up. I encourage you to go follow USF, follow Frank on Twitter, Frank Allocco, and I mean, I'll leave his links in the description. Here is my last video. Is gonna be like right here. It's gonna be my last interview, which is gonna be again with Jason Gay. But thank you guys for watching. Have a great day, and be sure to like, subscribe, follow wherever you are watching this. Have a great day.